Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com. Are you planning a Universal Orlando vacation and trying to figure out, is it possible to see everything at the original park, Universal Studios Florida, within one day? Well, I'm about to break down and show you how you can, and this is my video on our ultimate one-day itinerary over at Universal Studios Florida and how you can accomplish it all within the day. From iconic rides like Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts to that classic opening day attraction E.T., let's break down how you can do it all. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we're about to break down the ultimate one-day itinerary for Universal Studios Florida, which is the original park at Universal Orlando Resort. Now, what I would say going into this, a couple important things to keep in mind before we even jump into the order that I would go on the rides is this park does have a great mix between shows and rides. It doesn't have that many outdoor roller coasters. It actually has none at the time of the recording of this video, although it will change in the future. So this is typically the park that I see, families with younger kids or families with older grandparents kind of, gravitating towards because it does have that perfect mix. For our park plans, there's a couple important things to kind of keep in mind. So what I would say is this park typically does not have early park admission. However, you can still follow what I'm about to break down if it is open for early park admission, and it should really work the exact same way. I would also recommend to still arrive early. So in my other itinerary video for Islands of Adventure Park, I recommended to arrive a full 60 minutes before early park admission or that park even opened up. It doesn't have to be that crazy at Universal Studios Florida, but I would still get to this park 30 to 45 minutes before it even opens up to be some of the first guests in the park. And then you'll see I'm actually going to break this down two different ways for you. So the first way is going to be really just ride heavy, trying to get you on all of the rides as quickly as possible. The second is going to be a good mix between, kind of laid back. We'll throw in some shows. We'll throw in the afternoon parade, the mega movie parade, and it's going to be more of that, that balanced itinerary. One of the things I would say is Universal Studios Florida typically does close a little bit earlier than all of the other parks in Orlando. So especially during Halloween Horror Nights, this park can close at 5 o'clock. So with my ride heavy plan, that is my goal, to try to get you onto everything before 5 o'clock. I would say though on average, this park typically is going to close between 6 to 7 o'clock at night. Sometimes it can be a little bit later, but even in my laid back plan, we're still going to try to get you, to see almost everything before 6 o'clock at night. So without any further ado, let's go jump in and let's get started on this park plan. Okay, so we're going to assume that the park is opening up for regular park hours, which would typically be around 9 a.m. Now, of course, when most people walk into the park, typically they'll go to the first ride they'll see, which is Despicable Me. But for our plans, I actually have you going all the way back into Diagon Alley, which is the Harry Potter section of this park. And we're going to have you go onto Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts first, and it should probably be around the 15 to 20 minute wait at this point in time. And so keep Diagon Alley in mind, because I'm not giving you that much time to kind of hang out here and really enjoy it, but you will have time later in the night to come back and double down. And this is probably one of my favorite spots in all of Universal Orlando, especially at night with the fire-breathing dragon. So keep Diagon Alley in mind. But after you get off Escape from Gringotts, you're going to head right over to Transformers The Ride 3D, and we have you hopping on that around 9:30, 9:40, and it should be around the 25 to 30 minute wait. So once you hop off of Transformers The Ride 3D, we have you going over to the only original ride left in Universal Studios Florida, which is E.T. Adventure. You'll get over there around 10:10, 10:15, and that's going to be about a 20 minute wait. Now, once you get off of E.T. Adventures, you have a couple different options here, okay? You can go over to Trolls Troller Coaster, or you can go on King and Kudo Twirl and Hurl. And so both of these rides are going to have a similar wait time. I would say really between, 15 to 20 minutes. And if you don't hit one, you can circle back and you can hit the other later at night. And both of these are really kind of geared towards kids. That's why I'm giving you one or the other for this plan, because it still will be pretty balanced if you have older kids and adults trying to get as much done. But after you go on either the Trolls Troller Coaster or King and Kudo, we'll have you head over to the Simpsons attraction, which is going to be around the 20-minute wait, and it will probably be around 11:15, 11:20 at this point of the day. And so once you hop off of the Simpsons, you're going to walk over to Men in Black Alien Attack, and that's going to be around the 20-minute wait. And so by the time you're off that ride, it probably will be around 12:15. And at this point in time, we're going to have you take a break for lunch. You'll have an hour for lunch. And we always love to go over to Mel's, or if you're looking for a sit down spot, you can do Finnegan's. I also personally love the Leaky Cauldron in Diagon Alley, so don't be afraid to kind of head back in there for lunch. Or really the most convenient one that ties into this plan would be to go over and enjoy lunch at Minion Cafe. And so once you are done with lunch, it's going to be around 1:15, 1:30, and we do have you going over now to do Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, and that should be around the 30-minute wait. Once you're off Despicable Me, we have you staying in Minion Land, and you're going to go over to Villain Con Minion Blast, and this should probably be a walk-on. It should be between 5 to 15 minutes. And so once you're off that ride, we're going to have you stay in this vicinity and go over to Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. So this should really be around a 15 to 20 minute wait. And at this point in time, it should be around 2:20, 2:30. And so here's where you do have a couple of different options again. So by the time you're off this ride, it probably will be around 3:15. So what you can do is you can go over to Fast and the Furious Supercharge, but I'm not crazy about that ride. So I'm also giving you the option to go and check out one of the shows at this point in time. So you can go and you can do the 3:30 show of the Halloween makeup show, or there should be a 3:30 show of the Born Stuntacular. The other thing I would say is, my itineraries, they're definitely jam-packed. They're trying to get you onto everything as quickly as possible. And, I'm using projected wait times. If you're trying to come up with your own plan at home and you definitely want to see some of the shows as well, keep in mind that the shows, typically the last show will be kind of early, especially if they're closing for Halloween Horror Nights. What I'm seeing right now at this point in time on the Universal Orlando app is that their last shows are around 4 o'clock. So if you are trying to do shows, move some of my rides around and get those shows in a little bit earlier in your day. But once you either go on Fast and the Furious Supercharge or you go to check out one of the shows, you only have really one ride left, and that's going to be Revenge of the Mummy, which at this point in time, it should be around the 45-minute wait. And so you could see, really, depending on what you did, you're probably going to be done with Revenge of the Mummy. I would say around 4:30, 4:45, maybe a couple minutes after that, and you might have just enough time to go and double down on another one of those rides if the park's closing for Halloween Horror Nights. If not, you should have a couple hours left where you can go and you can either hit any of the rides you missed, you can double down on your favorite rides. I personally would go and I would try to kind of check out Diagon Alley and really walk around. If you have an interactive wand, you can get in some spells, grab dinner, just enjoy the night at Universal Studios Florida. And there's also going to be a nighttime show on certain nights. So make sure you download the Universal Orlando app, because Sensational is the nighttime show, and I really love this one. I think if you can see it, definitely be sure to stick around and check it out. And so we are about halfway done with this video, and before I jump into itinerary 2, I just wanted to take a second to say thank you so much for checking this video out. And if you're finding it helpful to this point, please just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more similar videos coming out in the coming weeks to get you as prepared as possible. But let's go over to my more balanced park plan, and let's break out kind of, what does that entail? What does that look like? And I'm going to run through the beginning of the day fairly quickly, because not much is changing. The only thing that's changing is at 9 o'clock, I still have you going to Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. But within this park plan, I have you taking an hour, and like I'm saying, you can enjoy Diagon Alley with very low crowds because it's going to be early in the morning. You can cast spells, you can shop, you can go and grab breakfast at the Leaky Cauldron. I'm giving you a full hour to start your day here. Once you're done with Diagon Alley, I'm having you head over to Transformers The Ride 3D. Next, you're going to E.T. Adventure, again, Trolls or King and Kudos. Then you have The Simpsons, then you have Men in Black, and then you have essentially an hour lunch break. The difference with this park plan is you're probably going to have your lunch, I would say, around 1 p.m. And so here's where it does get different. So at 2 o'clock, I would really say a little bit before 2 o'clock, you want to try to grab a spot for the 2 o'clock parade, which is the Universal Mega Movie Parade. And this plan, I would say, is probably going to be better geared for young kids, of course, because you're getting them to see the parade. After that, it's going to be around 2:30. I would go over to Villain Con Minion Blast, which should be a relatively low wait. Then after you're off this ride, again, I'm having you go and you're going to try to get in one of those shows. So either the Halloween makeup show or the Born Stuntacular show. And what you could do here too is if you want to punt the parade, you can do the Halloween makeup show and then the Born Stuntacular show back to back, so you don't have to miss one. And Universal also has animal actors on location, which is another really kind of fun and just kind of clever show for kids. So keep that in mind if you prefer that over the two that I'm mentioning. Honestly, my personal opinion is the Born Stuntacular show is probably the best show at Universal Orlando. But then after you're done with the shows, it should be around 4 or 4:15. We're going to have you go over to Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. After Despicable Me, head over to Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. After that, you can do Fast and the Furious Supercharge. And then to end the night, once again, the last ride that we have planned anyway is going to be Revenge of the Mummy. And I would say if you're following this plan, you should still be done around 5:45, 6 o'clock. So at this point in time, if you do want to head over to Islands of Adventure and you have that park to park ticket, you can definitely go and check out the Hogwarts Express. And it's important for me to note that I did not include the Hogwarts Express in my first itinerary because it's really just all of the rides within this one park. And the Hogwarts Express is going to drop you off at Islands of Adventure. So that's a completely different ball game and completely different park plan that we will be doing in the future. But really, hopefully at this point in time, like at 6 o'clock at night, hopefully Universal does have the park open. It's, kind of past that. You can get some other rides in. You can enjoy dinner. Essentially, this is your time to do whatever you'd like. But that is it, everyone. That's essentially really 2 itineraries that you can use at Universal Studios Florida. Some additional tips and tricks that I would say going into your day that you do need to be mindful of. Like I said, and I'm doubling down on it, just be prepared for those park hours. They are going to be a little bit different than some of the other parks in Universal and even Disney, but because there's not as many rides, you'll see you can really get a lot done in a shorter day. Over to the next tip, always purchase your park tickets in advance. As you can see, you have shorter hours. You want to make sure you hit the ground running. Having those park tickets purchased just saves you time once you show up. I would also say when it comes to the Hogwarts Express, right, what we just saw, my most recent trip, and I'm in the parks a lot, and this was something that I really never clicked before, especially on Halloween Horror Nights, events, is if the park is closing at 5 o'clock at night and you have that park to park ticket, if you don't have the express pass, you're probably looking at like an hour to an hour and a half wait to hop on the Hogwarts Express because everyone's leaving. So if that's not your thing, if you don't really care if you got on the Hogwarts Express another time, I would just walk over to Islands of Adventure Park to avoid that hour and a half wait, and then you can get on more rides over at that park. And of course, last but not least, I've said this so many times on my channel, but make sure that you download the Universal Orlando app. These itineraries are really your starting point for your own plan, for what works best for you and your family. So the Universal Orlando app is going to be your best friend once you arrive down in Orlando because it's going to give you live wait times, essentially the show times, everything that you would want to know during your day is going to be within that app. So make sure you have it downloaded so you can hit the ground running once you get down to Universal Orlando. But that is it, everyone. This is how I would tackle Universal Studios Florida. I really hope that you found this video helpful. And if you are in the process of planning that Universal Orlando trip, and it seems like you need a little additional help, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code that you can go use on our website to save an extra $50 off your next Universal Orlando vacation package. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.